Swimsuit by James Patterson and Maxine something. Prologue, just the facts. I know things I don't want to know. A true psychopathic killer is nothing like your everyday garden variety murderer. Not like a hold-up guy who panics and unloads his gun into a hapless liquor store clerk, or a man who bursts into his stockbroker's office and blows his head off. And he's not like a husband who strangles his wife over a real or imagined affair. Psychopaths aren't motivated by love or fear or rage or hatred. They don't feel those emotions. They don't feel anything at all. Trust me on that one. Gacy, Bundy, Dahmer, BTK, and the other all-stars in the Twisted Killer League were detached, driven by sexual pleasure and the thrill of the kill. If you thought you saw remorse in Ted Bundy's eyes after he confessed to killing 30 young women, it was in your own mind, because what distinguishes psychopaths from all other killers is that they don't care at all, not about their victims' lives, not about their deaths. But psychopaths can pretend to care. They mimic human emotion to pass among us and to lure their prey closer and closer. And after they've killed, it's on to the next new and better thrill, with no boundaries, no taboos, no holds barred. I've been told that it's quote-unquote distracting to be so consumed by appetite, and so psychopaths screw up. Sometimes they make a mistake. You may remember back in the spring of 2008 when the swimsuit model Kim McDaniels was abducted from a sandy beach in Hawaii. No ransom demand was ever made. The local cops were slow, arrogant, and clueless, and there were no witnesses or informants who had any idea who had kidnapped that beautiful and talented young woman. At that time, I was an ex-cop turned mystery writer, but since my last book had gone almost straight from the shipping carton to the remainder racks, I was a third-strike novelist doing the next best thing to writing pulp fiction. I was reporting crime for the LA Times, which, on the upside, was how the highly successful novelist Michael Connelly got his start. I was at my desk 24 hours after Kim went missing. I was filing yet another routinely tragic story of a drive-by fatality when my editor, Danielle Ehrenstein, leaned into my cube, said catch, and tossed me a ticket to Maui. I was almost 40 then, going numb from crime scene fatigue, still telling myself that I was perfectly positioned to hook a book idea that would turn my life around one more time. It was a lie I believed because it anchored my fraying hope for a better future. The weird thing is, when the big idea called me out, I never saw it coming. Aaronstein's ticket to Hawaii gave me a much-needed hit. I sensed a 5-star boondoggle featuring oceanfront bars and half-naked girls, and I saw myself jousting with the competition. All that, and the LA Times is picking up the tab. I grabbed that airline ticket and flew off to the biggest story of my career. Kim McDaniels' abduction was a flash fire, a white-hot tale with an unknown shelf life. Every news outlet on the planet was already on the story when I joined the gaggle of reporters at the police cordon outside the Wailea Princess. At first, I thought what all the journals thought, that Kim had probably been drinking, got picked up by some bad boys, that they'd raped her, silenced her, dumped her, that the missing beauty, quote-unquote, would be top of the news for a week or a month until some celebrity bigot or the Department of Homeland Security grabbed back the front page. But still, I had my self-delusion to support and an expense account to justify, so I bowled my way into the black heart of a vile and compelling crime spree. In doing so, and not by my own devising, I became part of the story, selected by a profoundly psychotic killer with a cherished self-delusion of his own. The book you hold in your hands is the true story of a skillful, elusive, and most would say first-rate monster who called himself Henri Benoit. As Henri told me himself, Jack the Ripper never dreamed of killing like this. For months now, I've been living in a remote location getting Henri's story down. There are frequent electrical brownouts in this place, so I've gotten handy with the manual typewriter. Turns out I didn't need Google because what isn't in my tapes and notes and clippings is permanently imprinted on my brain. Swimsuit is about an unprecedented pattern killer who upped the ante to new heights, an assassin like no other before or since. Taken some literary license in telling his story because I can't know what Henri or his victims were thinking in a given moment. Don't worry about that, not even for a second, because what Henri told me in his own words was proven by the facts, and the facts tell the truth, and the truth will blow your mind as it did mine. Benjamin L. Hawkins, May 2009.